In today's video, I want to share with you a game changer to your law of attraction practice. As a matter of fact, do you want to know what is the determining factor to whether or not you can manifest what you want? Stay with me and let's find out. Welcome back to Choosing Gratitude. My name is Karen from ChoosingGratitude.net, and this channel is all about helping you manifest your dream life. So if you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up and let's start to manifest your dream life by choosing gratitude. You all know that I have been on the spiritual journey for the past 20 plus years, and I have manifested amazing things for myself, completely turned my life around. And I've also helped a lot of people in the past few years since I started this channel to help them manifest their dream life. And I've heard amazing stories, people starting their own business, manifesting amazing abundance, manifesting new projects, new jobs, new love life, and completely changed their life. But there are also people who do all these things and nothing happens to them. If I look deep into each individual cases, I can almost tell why things happen to some people and not to others. But oftentimes, if I put on my analytical hat, I have to come up with a bunch of reasons. And I don't have time to list every single reason in one video. Actually, I can't. So I've been asking for spiritual guidance to explain all these things in the most simple term. And I received my divine guidance on this. And now I think I can tell you in a very short video why some people manifest what they want and some people don't manifest what they want. And I can also explain why certain techniques work for certain people but not others. I believe that a lot of you may think that you're not manifesting what you want because somehow you are not doing the technique properly. And I've seen questions like, oh, can I do it at this time or that time, or what color pen should I use to write my affirmations? And see, here's the problem. All these little things are not important, okay? I asked my spirit guide, what is the number one thing that people need to do in order to manifest what they want? And the answer is very, very simple. They need to have the right energy. And what exactly is the right energy? And how do you have the right energy? I know that when you talk in terms of energy, vibration, it's all very airy and it's not very concrete, right? In fact, you need to develop awareness of your energy status, okay? Where exactly are you right now energetically? Today, I want to give you a tool to help you assess exactly what kind of energetic status you're on. And once you understand your own energy, you need to put yourself in the right energy in order to manifest what you want. In other words, the details of your techniques are not important. The most important thing is the energy. It's just like, say when you are drinking a cup of tea like this, okay? I'm drinking a cup of tea right now. And what you're drinking is a tea inside this cup, right? But I do need this cup to hold the tea. Otherwise, I can't drink this tea. So the tea is your energy and the cup is the techniques. And you may be wondering, oh, what kind of cup should I use? What color of the cup should I use? All of that are not important because when the right tea shows up, you have the right cup for it, okay? So it's not like you don't need the cup. Yes, you need the cup. The cup is the technique. So you do need these techniques. However, the details of the cup actually is not as important as what's inside the cup. And here I want to introduce you to a very important concept called sponsoring thoughts. I read about this in the book Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch. This is his words, sponsoring thoughts is the thoughts that initially push you into doing something. And actually, I would rather call this sponsoring energy, because thoughts oftentimes it's very hard to catch because thoughts fly by, but energy is something you can feel. In the Conversation with God book, Neil Donald Walsch really simplified everything. He said that, when you boil everything down to the sponsoring thought, which is the source of your every thought, every word, every action, you can always boil them down to two kinds of thoughts, and we can call it two kinds of energy: love or fear, okay? So everything you do, everything you say, and everything you think, they either come from love or they come from fear. And sometimes it comes a blend of each, right? Then it depends on whether or not you have more love or more fear. Here by love, I don't mean romantic love, possessive love. By love, I really mean divine love, divine joy, divine gratitude, the connection you have to your own divine nature, to the universe, okay? That's love. Love is actually just a connection between you and God, okay? What is fear? Fear is basically disconnection, right? When you're disconnected from God, you are afraid, you're in dark. So everything we're doing is either sponsored, driven by love, or fear. And here is the even simpler truth. Actually, fear doesn't exist. There is only love in the universe. So there is only love and the absence of love. Think about it. There is only connection and the absence of connection. There is only joy and the absence of joy. Okay? So once we boil everything down to this just one thing, then we are at the core of our universe. We are at the core of our being. We are at the core of our purpose of existence. That is to connect to the universal love, the universal joy, and the universal gratitude. All of these things are the true reason why you want things, okay? So you don't want money just for money. You want money in order to feel that connection, right? You wanna feel the abundance. You don't want a sexy partner just to, have a sexy partner. You want that partner in order to feel the love, the connection. All right. So what is the purpose of knowing love and fear? Now, every time when you're going about your life, when you have a thought, I want you to ask yourself, why do I think this way? And when you are saying something, if you catch yourself saying something, ask yourself, why am I saying this? When you're doing something, ask yourself, why am I doing this? And try to peel through the superficial facts and find your sponsoring thoughts or the sponsoring energy. Think about it. If you start your 369 or 555, whatever technique that you're using, okay, if you come from the energetic place of fear, like I have to do this in order to have more money, look better, so that I won't feel lonely, so I won't feel like a loser. See that? This sponsoring thought is a fear-based thought, right? You are trying to escape from the place of loneliness, looking like a loser, instead of, you desire to be connected to the universal abundance. It seems like you're doing the same thing, right? On the superficial level, you can have two persons. One is doing the 369. One is a person who is driven by love, by the feeling of expansion, by the true beauty of their desire, and the other person is doing the exact same technique, using the exact same statement, but driven by this fear, driven by fear of running away from something that they don't have, okay? And the result is going to be vastly different. So two people could be doing the exact same thing on the superficial level. They could be saying the same affirmation, but one person will manifest their dream life and the other person won't. Why is that? The universe is really nothing but a gigantic buffet, okay? Everything you ever want is out there. And every blend of love and fear is out there. So it's up to you to choose. When you choose I don't have money, so I want money. You know, what you're gonna get is basically a dish that is called you don't have money, right? So the universe is really just echoing back to your deepest energy pattern. I say that again, the universe is always echoing back to you your deepest energetic pattern, okay? So that's why it's so important to understand your sponsoring energy. Is it driven by love or is it driven by fear? It's as simple as that. And once you understand this, now you can start to consciously change your energy. Every time you act out of fear, actually you can feel it in your body, okay? When you want to do something out of fear, typically you are driven by a sense of nervousness, urgency, just feeling like you have to get this done, you know, that kind of feeling. Then you should immediately know that you're driven by fear. And at this moment, no matter what you do, it's not going to get you to the right result. So what you want to do is to just take a few deep breaths and consciously switch to the energetic pattern of love. Remember, everything you want outside is already inside of you, okay? Everything you want is already there, it's already inside. You just need to go within and grab that, okay? And really, this is a moment-to-moment practice. There is never going to be a time where you feel, oh, I have arrived, now I have my dream life. No, you know, your dream life is always evolving, and your soul's desire is always expanding. You will never get it done, and you never get it wrong, okay? And return to love, return to light, return to gratitude. And that is the purpose of this channel. I want you to have a life where you're living moment to moment to moment. You're constantly looking to connect to God, to connect to the universe. And that, my friend, is the true dream life, and you have it. You can have it right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.